welcome to full match commentary of Manchester United v Manchester City. They've just kicked off at Old Trafford. This replacing the League Cup quarterfinals, of course. The big Manchester derby. We've been a little bit delayed getting it live, but we are live for you tonight, the whole 90 minutes. And we're away. We'll give you the two teams in a second or two when we get a break in play, but it's Manchester City in sky blue. Pep Guardiola's team are really... And Manchester United beaten 4-0. Both teams played on Sunday. City drew 1-1 with Southampton. Manchester United were tonked 4-0 by Chelsea. Jeff says, "Hiya JB, thanks for another broadcast." Straight away, and we're on again. We'll bring you the two lineups in just a second as City come forward. And this is Navas, far side, up against Shaw. And he gets a good cross in there and a chance there inside the 6-yard area for Iheanacho playing up front today. Almost proved fruit there for Manchester City. So chance there for Iheanacho. So let's see if we can give you the two lineups very quickly before we go on to the game. Here we are. Manchester United line up as follows. It's De Gea in goal, and then it's Valencia, Blind, Royo, Shaw, Carrick, Herrera, Mata, Pogba, Marcus Rashford and Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Strong lineup there from Manchester United. No place, by the way, for Wayne Rooney because the substitutes read Marcus Depay, Jesse Lingard, Ashley Young. Ball just running out of play for a goal kick. In fact, De Gea has kept that in. So, as I said, Marcus Depay, Jesse Lingard, Ashley Young, Romero is the substitute goalkeeper, Marian Fellaini, Morgan Schneiderlin and Darmian. They're the subs down with the Manchester City lineup. You won't be surprised to hear Willie Caballero is in goals for Manchester City tonight instead of that bizarre goalkeeper called Bravo, who made a complete and utter ricket the new camp a week ago. He's in goal. Maffeo number 50, Nicholas Otamendi and Vincent Kompany are the two centre-backs. Then Gil Clichy, then Jesus Navas, Garcia Sereno, then Fernando, Nolito gets the nod, Sané as well, and Iheanacho. Amongst the subs tonight, Sterling, Gundogan, Aguero, Kolarov, Fernandinho I should say, Abelardo and Gunn. The referee's Mike Dean. 0-0. But a wonderful occasion for this game. Ball running out of play for a throw. Well, we're back with you now. I'm just blowing my nose again. It's that time of year when colds and coughs come into the equation, and that's no exception. So apologies there just for the lack of commentary there. But we are back with you now live. 0-0. We've just gone up towards 5 minutes gone. It's not really been, apart from that early chance before we gave you the two lineups right at the start, really nothing much else has happened. Jeff makes a point, however, that Rooney is out for injury concerns, and it could be a valid point, but I have to say Mourinho is a pretty good he's not a bad manager overnight. It's a bad run. Also, we'll keep you up to date with what's going on in the other games at the moment. We'll read Jeff's comment. It's a kind comment as well. There's 2 other games taking place around the country, one in London and one in down on the south coast, both 7:45 kickoffs incidentally. West Ham have gone 1-0 up against Chelsea, so maybe a little bit of respite for Slaven Village coming in this competition. Southampton Sunderland also 15 minutes old. It's 0-0. But the game we're concentrating on is Manchester United and Manchester City from Old Trafford. Also through to the last stage of this competition, you might have heard from last night, where Arsenal, Liverpool, Leeds United on penalties, would you believe? Hull City and a titanic struggle at Bristol City. And what about Newcastle knocking Preston North End for 6? As a staunch Clarets fan, that was a game that was very enjoyable. So Newcastle in the last 8 as well. So 0-0, League Cup. This is not a FIFA game. This is an actual audio commentary with a FIFA background, because if we showed any action, the Football League would claim copyright. So just to stop anybody commenting and asking questions, that is the reason why we do FIFA backgrounds on the commentaries. Meanwhile, there's been a free kick given. There's Pep Guardiola. And a few eyebrows raised about his selection, but he's in 4 competitions. Remember, Manchester City are defending the trophy they won at Wembley last year so dramatically in that penalty shootout against Liverpool. It was really mightily unfortunate to lose that match that particular evening, and should be good. McLaren94 says, evening JBs. Our prediction went to pot a little bit, didn't they? Well, they did, but that's the beauty of it, isn't it? I'm ready to team up with you again on Friday for another episode. It's going to be it's going to be a tie-looking JP at the end of that on Friday, because I've got a very busy Friday. But I'll be back Friday evening, and we'll record the programme, and we'll give you more air. Hopefully we'll get more airtime. But it's good to be in touch with you, Matt Clarett. Pro Gamers, he reckons it's going to end 1-1 and 5-4 to. I think is it Manchester United on penalties? Manchester United are the home team, aren't they? So they must be. Yeah. Matt Clarett also makes the point we got Watford Swansea spot on though. What a bore fest! I told you it was a bore fest, Matt Clarett. Anyway, if you want to join Matt Clarett and myself for predictions in the next couple of days, we'll be recording the show on the Friday and then transmitting it on YouTube, his YouTube channel, on Saturday morning before the Saturday games start. It's a new weekly show. Please, as well, if you're already subscribed to my channel and would like to subscribe to Matt Clarett, please give Matt Clarett a go. He does really good content, does very good blogs himself. I insist you give him a try as Nolito tries to break through there. You're not really missing much at the moment. It's just a little bit of a jousting match going on in that midfield area. Manchester United, of course, no Rooney, as Jess pointed out, for injury. But it's a very, very strong lineup. Mourinho really going for it tonight, I have to say. And they need to respond after that drubbing, at Chelsea on Sunday, where they were just they just seemed so off the pace. They really did. But as I say, terrific cup tie action last night with Arsenal, Liverpool, Leeds on penalties going through. That was a dramatic match at Ellen Road last night. Leeds winning in on penalties, as I say. Hull going through, not having much joy in the league, Hull, but they're having plenty of joy in the League Cup. As City come forward again, Navas on the far side. Rare opportunity for him to shine here. Most of his games for Manchester City have been in the League Cup. City player goes down, but referee Mike Dean, who failed to give a clear penalty at 0-0 in the Burnley Southampton game a couple of weeks ago, is in no mood to give a penalties. Mind you, there might be a few penalties on offer tonight, because Mike Dean's been in the habit at the moment. He's been looking at that pushing and shoving business from corners. He's given a lot of penalties for tugs in the penalty area. I think he gave us one actually 2 weeks ago, even though the game was up at 3-0 by then. But a tug on Ben Mee, it did look actually, to be fair, a little bit of a soft penalty. But I think we might get a couple of penalties tonight. And just to remind everybody that doesn't need reminding, or if you're new to all this and you've subscribed for the first time and you don't know what the rules are in terms of cup tie football, the game has to be settled tonight, whether it's through 90 minutes, extra time or penalties. We will get a decision here at Old Trafford tonight. So we'll be staying live until someone hits one, and then there's the small matter of the draw for the quarterfinals. Hopefully we'll get reaction from both Pep Guardiola and Jose Mourinho as well, because we like to be fair, and this is a big derby as well. So we've just come up towards 11 minutes gone here, and let's hope this game isn't a bore fest. Mike Clark does make the point that Mike Dean is not very consistent, and he might be just right. Oh, a slip there. That was a massive slip there. That was trying to figure out who it might have been. It was Otamendi, sorry. It's fair to say I've not covered Manchester United and Manchester City much this season, but we are covering them tonight. There's a chance here for Rashford to run down the far side, and it's smuggled away, and it will be a Manchester United throw, almost by the corner quadrant, right by Mafia number 50. One or two unfamiliar names in that Manchester City lineup, but Guardiola is quite entitled to use the squad he's got. And obviously McClaren reacting that West Ham have actually scored in their own stadium. Well, they've done it against Chelsea, to be fair, Chris. They've scored. I don't know who's got the goal, but it's 1-0. I'm sure we'll get confirmation. So West Ham going through. The other game, as I told you, will be 0-0. But we'll keep you up to date with the 7:45 games. 2 7:45 kickoffs. Southampton 0, Sunderland 0 is the current score. And at the moment, it's West Ham 1, Chelsea 0. I suspect Chelsea will change their squad quite a bit for this particular match tonight. As there's a yellow card there, and it's a foul on Zlatan Ibrahimovic by Iheanacho, and he picks up the first booking of the evening. Kouati is the scorer. McClaren's telling me he's providing me with some on-the-spot information here. McClaren, he's keeping me up to date. And if people think I'm paying him for this, I'm not. I'll pay him in kindness. Anyway, back to the game. It's Zlatan Ibrahimovic from the quickly taken free kick. Michael Carrick, in fact, is captaining the Manchester United lineup tonight. Rashford is actually on the far side. That's a nice ball, but I think the flag has got up there. It was Juan Mata who just went offside there. It's not really come to the boil yet, this cup tie. There's so much obviously at stake here in this cup. Not just bragging rights, of course. This is it's a heck of a lot more than bragging rights, this derby. There's obviously a place in the quarterfinals. Wembley just 3 games away after tonight for the winners, and it's going to be such. I think it will be a tense game. I don't think it's going to be a classic that people have built it up to be, but I think, I've said that games have ended. There has been occasions where I've predicted 0-0 in certain games, and it's turned out to be a 6-goal thriller. So it could well be a classic, but it's only 14 minutes old, lest we forget. So the game could pick up, but we've seen but in games that I've covered, we might have had dire first halves, but then the second half's always picked up, and of course we've seen goals And we hope for goals tonight. We've got one, of course, at the London Stadium where West Ham are playing Chelsea. Both managers, as Mike Claret says there, needing a win. Both haven't won in a while. Manchester City haven't won in 5. And that included that Greek tragedy at Barcelona a week ago, when the calamity of the Bravo set it off, and Willie Caballero having to scamper to get that ball forward. Long ball forward it is. Again, referee spotted a bit of pushing, and a free kick to Manchester United. Halfway inside their own half. This game has really not come alive yet, but it's still anyone's guess. 47% possession so far to Manchester United, 53% in favour of Manchester City. So City just dominated it a little bit on the possession stats, but here's Zlatan Ibrahimovic, just cutting to the left hand side this time, and Herrera tried to play that ball through, but again well cut out, and a chance here for City to break through Jesus Navas. And can he provide a telling ball? Not this time, and a chance for Clichy to get forward, but he's beaten to it. Well, one matter. It will be a throw level with the United box. Manchester City, just for the record, attacking the Stratford end in the first half at Old Trafford. Here's number 75, Sereno. Now company from Otamendi's pass. Quarter hour gone. You haven't missed much. 0-0 at Old Trafford. It's been a very slow starter, but it might just pick up a little bit later on. It's always a tough old it's always tough to see how both teams will work themselves out, but it's they've both got strong benches tonight, which could play maybe into Manchester City's hands if the game gets stretched later on, and if it's still in the melting pot, the scoreline. Header for Zlatan to chase, but Company will win that one. He's the Manchester City captain, of course. Mourinho. Well, he's come out in the media the last couple of days, Jose Mourinho, and he's admitted that he's very lonely up in Manchester. The rest of his family, his missus and his kids, are staying in London at the moment. He's struggling. He's staying in a hotel at the moment, and he has admitted he's pretty lonely. It can be a bit of a lonely job, the United job, as Zlatan Ibrahimovic has played that one ball towards Rashford. He can't keep that in. Goal kick to Manchester City. And I suppose it can be lonely when your family are in another part of the country and you're up in Manchester. 18 gone. I can understand that sort of play for him as we come up towards 18 minutes gone in this first half. A game that hasn't caught fire yet. Just needs one moment of magic, one moment of genius, and I think we'll certainly get that. And here's the ball over towards Jesus Navas, far side. He's had plenty of space to work into at the moment, and there's been some injury news from the Mike Claret. He's earning his Spurs for me tonight. I'll tell you what's happening. That I'm sure you don't need me to tell you that Jay Rodriguez, that is. We always call him Jay Rod in Burnley. He's been seriously taken off in the Southampton-Sunderland game, so a real injury blow there for Southampton. And Rodriguez was actually starting to find a little bit of form, along with Charlie Austin in that Southampton side. So that's a bit of a blow for Southampton. It's also a big game for Sunderland. This, haven't won yet in the Premier League. The wins this season have come in this competition. So this is that's a big game for both Southampton and Sunderland tonight down at St Mary's. Southampton were quarter-finalists in this competition last season before they were unceremoniously beaten by Liverpool. 20 minutes now. Well, we're into the 20 minutes, and Claret's going through his predictions. I've not made any predictions at the moment. He's very, very confident. Chris, my buddy and pal. He's gone for Southampton 1, Sunderland 0. And I hope he doesn't repeat this commentary. I hope he doesn't repeat this commentary in our programme we're going to do on Friday night. We're going to record it on Friday night. It gets all edited together. He's also gone for a narrow Manchester United win in the game that we're covering. Well, I'm covering over Manchester City. So United 1, City 0. West Ham, of course, winning already against Chelsea. I want to know what that one will be. As City have it on the far side, but again they're just having to move the ball down a bit. Now Otamendi has it just at halfway. He's gone for a 3-2 Chelsea victory. Ball lifted in there towards Iheanacho, but it's an easy one there for David De Gea, who takes the ball pretty well. There's Otamendi. He came for about £30 million. He's into his third season now at the Etihad. Otamendi's improving it with each season, but I still don't think he's the finished article yet. Maybe under Pep he might become a better player. But he took a lot of stick, Pep Guardiola, and rightfully so for that terrible performance at the Nou Camp. And let's hope in a week's time when they do play Barcelona in the second meeting at the Etihad, they put up a much better performance, because really, strictly speaking, of course, there'll be no Bravo in that game because he's obviously sent off. Free kick to Manchester United. Otamendi a little bit clumsy. It was a foul there. I think it was on Juan Mata. And it will be a free kick to Manchester United in a pretty dangerous position. Just absolutely takes him out. There's no doubt about that. McClure also says Pro Gamer's prediction for this one is probably a good bet too. So could be a long night, folks. If it's Manchester United, and I hope it's not. I don't want a long night tonight. I want to get to bed early today. It's been a long day. If I told you half the stuff, I'm sure McClure will see what I put on Facebook a bit later on, what I've done today. He'll be very impressed with what I've been doing today. But anyway, back to footballing matters. It's a free kick to Manchester United. Let's just be serious for a few minutes. 4 in the City wall. Mike Dean just making sure that finishing spray is used the right way. 10 yards between the taker and the wall. Just to the left of centre. You can bet your bottom dollar Zlatan is over this. Belinda wanted a piece of it, but you've got a feeling it's going to be Zlatan Ibrahimovic here. Halfway through the first half, we haven't seen anything of real genius so far. Ibrahimovic hits it into the wall and he hit it low and it deflected for a corner. It was a disappointing effort, I have to say, from Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I have to say he's very, very lucky to actually yield a corner from that, because it looked wasn't one of the best corners I've ever seen. Wasn't the best free kick I've seen for a long time, I have to be honest. But the United have it. It's Blind to take. Deep one towards the back post. Rashford is there, but he can't control it. United still have possession though, with Herrera. Herrera far side. And again, good challenge back there by Nolito. Nolito tries to get that ball forward. And the stream is not working particularly well on the live game. It's buffering every 5 seconds, which doesn't help commentary, but it's not been a particularly good watch so far. I've been disappointed the way the two teams have gone about it. It's almost as if it's just basically sparring for the first couple of rounds. It's not really been an explosive start to the game, and that's one disappointment. I just hope it doesn't become a ball fest like the game between Manchester United and Liverpool last week, because that was the least likely 90-minute ball fest. That was the most unenjoyable 90-minute ball fest I had to endure last week. But here we are, 0-0. One ball forward up towards the near side, but it's somehow gone out of play. Jordan Edwards says Oh, hey. I didn't know you were on, Jordan. Good evening to you. I'm just describing what I thought I saw. I didn't commentate on the game, you'll be pleased to know. Otherwise, I would have had quite a number of players. But I don't think at least Liverpool tried to play last week. It was Manchester United who made it the bore-fest, I have to be honest. Anyway, the ball back towards David De Gea. It's just not been a great game of football. It's like both teams here tonight are just cancelling each other out. And the last thing we all want tonight is, after a dull match so far, is extra time. And it's just being played back across the line. It's just doesn't seem to be. It's a good header one though. And here we go again. JB to commentate for the Beeb. Well, I think we're going to get a few more of those comments as this game goes on. There's a bit of clash in the centre of the field. Valencia's gone down. I can't see who the City player is. Mike Dean has got the yellow card out, and I think he's going to show it in direction of Antonio Valencia here. Let's see what happened. It was a challenge between Valencia here, and who else was it? I can't really see, to be honest. And let's have a look. Might have been Fernando, in fact. Yeah, it was Fernando. And so it was a free kick to Manchester City. So Valencia a little bit fortunate. That could have been a whole lot worse. I've seen less challenges for red cards for that. I'll tell you my thoughts on Firmino possibly at half time, because there's a game to describe here for you. And Manchester City have a free kick, and Gael Clichy might fancy it. No, it's gone short, so it's 0-0. Both teams really haven't done enough for me to constitute and get a good game of football going. And after all this build-up, the game is becoming a little bit of a damp squid, and I just think the TV people just build it up as Mourinho versus Guardiola, when it should be about Manchester United and Man City. It's what it should be about. Jordan asks, which team are the better team? Well, to be honest with you, they've both cancelled each other out. I don't think either's been better than the other. Both have had chances, but they've been lackluster in the final third. Zlatan has he should have done better with a free kick. It's just not been a good watch. And I can only hope from a neutral point of view, and I'm strictly neutral tonight because I'm not a fan of either of these two teams, that the 22 players start picking up the pace and start picking up the tempo, because the tempo of the first 27 minutes has been nothing short of shocking, to say the least. And I'm bitterly disappointed that it's turned out that way, to be honest. But it's 0-0, and let's hope we can get something here. Free kick's been given, I think. Zlatan Ibrahimovic is going to take it. Let's see what happened. It was Zlatan, in fact, fouled by Yildiz Ladvat, so free kick's been taken quickly. It was halfway basically inside the City half, and again, good defending there by City. Here's Iheanacho now. Surely we've got to see something happen in this game. Iheanacho wearing number 72. Here's Jesus Navas wearing a more conventional number 15 on the far side. Cuts in field, looks for options. Iheanacho tries to touch it down, and in the end goes straight to David De Gea. No, and it just has not been a good watch whatsoever. This was supposed to be the marquee game of the round, and I'm afraid it's not really lived up to any billing. The build-up play has been okay, but when it's come to the final third, there just hasn't been enough penetration from either attack so far to warrant any real goal-scoring opportunities. Rashford's been anonymous, Zlatan has been poor, and City's attack hasn't been great, and Pogba really hasn't gone into the game at all. In fact, he's conceded a free kick. For a man who's cost 90 million pounds, he's not living up to the billing, especially in a League Cup tie tonight. If you can't live up to the billing in a League Cup tie against your local rivals, I know there's a lot at stake, but surely show some passion. Shows some intent. Mourinho there, I can just see down below, clapping, trying to get the game going, trying to ease United on. Although he has perked up on his goal scoring tally, 3 goals in his last 6 games. Looks like McClaret's I think he must have a hotline to the Hammers game at the moment. The West Ham match against Chelsea, 1-up at the moment to West Ham as far as I know. If there's any change in any of the scores, we will let you know. Half an hour gone, and it's a Manchester United throw. Herrera takes it quickly. Back to Herrera once again from Juan Mata. Herrera now right hand side. 0-0. Here's Blindo back for United. It's just two defences just cancelling each other out. It's not a good game of football. It's been an absolute travesty to watch here at the moment. It's been a car crash match at the moment. The comments now are getting even more hilarious. I think they're the entertaining part of the whole action at the moment, because there's nothing happening on the field at the moment. Another goalkeeping giving us Shaw trying to get forward for Manchester United. I think I'll let them two just battle it out. Anyway, back to the game. A terrible game. We've got 15 minutes of what's been an absolute disgraceful first half. None of the two teams, I have to be honest, has actually tried to play football or tried to raise the tempo of what's been a very slow moving match. And it has been a slow moving match. Now let's see what we can do here with Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Turns away from his marker. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, 25 yards from goal. He tries to play Pogba, but the ball just goes behind Pogba just by the edge of the D, and then the Manchester City player was fouled by Luke Shaw, and a 3 kick to Manchester City. It's still 0-0 in this all Manchester Cup tie. 1 attempt each for both sides, and predictably 0-0 as terms of shots on target. Oh my days. Anyway, here we are, 0-0. So it's a foul. Now what's happened here? Foul on Otamendi. It's starting to happen. Even Pep's now trying to hand signals to try and get these teams moving. Both managers are doing their best down on the touchline, but the game is just a damn squid. The referee hasn't helped by giving so many free kicks, but it's not Mike Dean's fault in a way. It's just the 22 players. I don't know whether it's a nervous tension in the air. Company has inexplicably knocked that out for a throw halfway inside the City half to Manchester United. I don't know whether it's the tension here, the occasion. I don't know. I know there's a lot at stake. City defending the 300 trophy they won at Wembley last year. These two teams, remember, have got great League Cup pedigree, by the way. 8 winners, previous wins between them. City having won the trophy in 1970, 1976, 2014, and of course last season. Manchester United won it in 92, 2006, 2009 and 2010. So, terrific League Cup pedigree. And all 4 Manchester United League Cup triumphs have been managed by, guess who? Sir Alex Ferguson. And the Manchester City League Cup winners, the 1970 team managed by Malcolm Allison and Joe Mercer, of course. They won the 1970 trophy. Then Tony Buck's side won it in 76. Dennis Stewart's over a goal and that, and then the last 2 times it's been won by Manuel Pellegrini, 2013 and last year as well. And still no score. 2014, I should say. Jordan Edwards just mentioning no need to mention the final last year. I'm only giving a history lesson to how many trophies they've won between them, because this is a game between 2 teams with terrific League Cup pedigree. But Liverpool have won it more times than anybody else. I think they've won it about 7 or 8 times, including 4 successive years from 81 to 84. And here we go. Here's a chance now for Manchester City. Chance here for somebody to try and break through, and then the final ball forward towards Iheanacho was an absolute disgrace from Sané. What the hell for this game? It's just been an absolute bore fest. It really has. The build-up play has been okay. Not dissing that for 1 whole second, but I'm afraid to say it's not been the best watch in the world. I sincerely hope that the second half actually lives up to a much better billing than what we've seen in the first, because it's not been a good watch. It's got half time incidentally in the other 2 games. Matt Claret informs me. I'm sure you'll give me the score lines. We haven't had any goal flashes, so I assume it's still the same. So it's 0-0 at Southampton, Sunderland, and 1-0 still to West Ham. So at the moment, one game could be heading for extra time, and the other could be going West Ham's way as Pogba takes it in the penalty area. First chance for a real opportunity there, and it was Zlatan Ibrahimovic from about 16 yards out. Hit it with his right foot, and it must have got a deflection, I think, of Vincent Kompany, and it's behind for a Manchester United corner. But that's the first real bit of positivity we've seen in the match. Although Zlatan's finish, you wouldn't think so, but sure there, good positive play, and Zlatan really didn't get good connection on it, but he got a corner. Still United keep it alive from the corner kick, but in the end, good defending there, you have to say, from City. Still 0-0. And I'm trying to liven this up, folks, as best I can. It's we just need a goal. We want to get the game flowing, and here's a chance now for Navas. Surely now City have got to do something. Out of all these 22 top-class players, we've got to see some quality. Navas showing everybody else what quality is down that far touchline, and he really did terrifically well. But again, you've got to say, good sensible defending again by Manchester United. I have to say, both defenders, for all the poor attacking play, have really done their job to the letter. Here's Ibrahimovic. Now that's a better ball. Real chance here for United. Inside the area. Real chance. Oh, it was Rashford who gambled in there. Still might come for one Mata. Mata now to Pogba. Pogba now. Will he have the shot? No, he's played it across to Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and he can't. In fact, it's got a deflection off a City player, so United starting to keep the pressure going. We might just have a good last 10 minutes here. And maybe forget about the 35 minutes the first 35 minutes that preceded it. Game's just started to come to life. But I thought Rashford, and having beaten Otamendi, I thought he might have shot earlier, to be fair. But he took too long. But it's a corner to United, far side, in towards the 6-yard box, headed away by Vincent Kompany. And it was headed out sufficiently enough, up towards halfway, and the ball will be back to David De Gea. Both goalkeepers really haven't had too many saves to make. I can't remember them both having actually made a save yet. It's just that both attacks have been blunt. The last 10 minutes possession, tellingly, is going the way of Manchester United, 72% to 28%. Here's a chance now for Pogba, crossing from the right hand side, and a chance there, and a good piece of goalkeeping, I have to say, there by Caballero, because if he hadn't got a hand on that, I think Zlatan Ibrahimovic might have been in there for one. And still this big last 16 tie in the EFL Cup is still yet to come to the boil, but it's started to simmer a little bit. Otamendi with a good challenge there on Paul Pogba, worth £80 million, remember. I think it's a ridiculous amount to pay for a footballer, let alone a human being, let alone a footballer. Willy Caballero with an important intervention there as that cross came in. And that's the first time we've really seen Pogba really explode as an attacking force. Still 0-0. You haven't missed anything. Manchester United 0, Manchester City 0. And here's a chance now. Iheanacho's through. Big chance here for City. It's Iheanacho. Good defending again. Better from the attackers. But again, you've got to say good defending again from United. But it looked as if Iheanacho was through then to score the opening goal of what's been a really tough old 39 minutes that we've been playing, but the last 5 minutes has certainly livened up the game. This is Jesus Navas, far side. Shaw to meet him. Navas goes round Shaw, gets the cross in, and then, oh, that was a poor clearance. He's gone into the Stretford end for a corner. On another day, that might have gone back in towards the goal. It was Herrera, I think, who made the clearance. But it was Iheanacho. He broke the offside trap now, and he looked for all the love and money that he was going to strike the first goal, but some good defending again for United. 40 minutes gone. Iheanacho came onto the scene last season in an FA Cup game against Aston Villa, and he scored a hat-trick in that match. Ball played in towards the penalty area. It'll come from Nolito. Oh, what was that? Nolito's tried to volley it with his right foot. He's completely sliced it, but somehow City have kept possession on the far side. Well, it just sums up the first half in a nutshell. It's been an absolutely, completely, utter diabolical game. But here's Nolito, and Iheanacho's through, but De Gea, lightning quick, lightning fast off his line, came and took the ball competently and confidently without any trouble whatsoever. I think the chance originally came when Zlatan Ibrahimovic gave the ball. This was the other chance that's just happened there. I think that was more of a half chance because the ball was just tediously overhit a bit. Wind, who made that challenge, of course, earlier on to deny Iheanacho. 4 to go to half time, plus any time added on that the fourth official will want to add on at the end of the first half, and then we'll take a 10-minute break as usual, and then we'll be back with full second half coverage. And if it ends level after 90 minutes, we'll do the extra time, and if any penalties are needed, we shall do penalties. We've gone to extra time in our League Cup coverage before this season. That was Burnley against Accrington, of course, in this competition, and we know what happened there. We don't need to go over that ground. Here's a chance now for City now. Can we see a goal before half time? It'll be a good time for one of these two teams to get their noses in front. Jesus Navas has been probably City's best player. Cuts inside. Navas tries to lay it in. I don't know why he doesn't get picked enough for the league games. Sané now trying to make something of it. But again, neither team looking to give anything away at the moment. And then Ibrahimovic somehow slips and completely gives possession back to Manchester City. A game now that started with a few mistakes creeping into both teams at the moment. Ibrahimovic now guilty of giving the ball away a couple of times now as the ball gets knocked back towards Clichy on the edge of the penalty area. Then there's a bounce, and then United win that particular bounce, and here comes Mata now up towards halfway, looks to get Rashford in, but a great challenge again, this time by Otamendi. And now City come forward with Nolito. Good end to the first half here after a very poor 35 minutes. And still, maybe the game will lighten up. We've still got good players, world-class players on the substitutes benches, of course. But again, I just think both sides have just totally cancelled each other out, and it's been a really disappointing first half. But at least it's livened up in the last 5 or 6 minutes or so. Just to remind you, already in tonight's draw are Arsenal, Liverpool, Leeds, who won dramatically on penalties last night. Hull City, who are not having a good run in the league, but are doing well in the League Cup. Just trying to think who else has gone through. Newcastle, of course. That demolition derby of poor old Preston yesterday. Still, and of course at the moment, as things stand in the other two games, West Ham, if they hold on to what they got half-time in that game at the London Stadium, 1-0 to them, they could be in the quarter-final draw, which will take place after this game. You'll be able to hear it on the YouTube channel. Well, I think both managers need to get both their sides in at half time, and this is my honest assessment, and bang everybody's heads together, because this, for the paying public, there's 76,000 inside Old Trafford tonight, and for the money that's been paid by the supporters, the money of the supporters tonight have value for money. In my opinion, they have not, and it's been a disappointing watch, and I feel so sorry for those people who have forked out a lot of money for tickets for this particular game. It's supposed to be the hottest game in town tonight, and at the moment it's not living up to any billing whatsoever. The last 5-10 minutes, yes, it's come slowly to the boil, but I just think both managers have to get their teams in now and just say, look, go for it. The fans have paid you up. At the end of the day, the fans still pay the wages. 76,000 are here tonight, amongst with a few thousand City fans as well. They paid good money to try and watch this game, and at the moment, they've not had that value for money. There's Sergio Aguero sat on the bench. There's one added minute. To be quite honest, I wouldn't blame Mike Dean if he blew now for half time, because it hasn't been a good watch whatsoever. To be quite honest, Lee Mason is the fourth official, incidentally. Pep Guardiola stood there, deep in thought, down on the near side. We're now halfway through that 1 minute, and here's a chance now for Valencia to come forward. And in fact, referee Mike Dean, in fact, has done us. Has he? No, it's not. I don't think it's the half-time whistle yet. But I'd honestly wish that Mike Dean would do us all a favour, blow for half-time, and it would allow both. And would allow both managers to get in there and just and bang their heads together, quite honestly, because neither goalkeeper's been overworked at all. Cabanero's made one vital interception. We've played the 1 minute. Just blow the whistle, Mike Dean. There's nothing else going to happen in this first half. And there we go. He's listened to my call. And what a disappointing first half that has been. A game that has been devoid really of any goal mouth opportunities. The closest we've really come to a goal was in an actual. We got through, but some good defensive work there by Daley Blind, which kept the score goalless. And I have to say, what a disappointing cup tie this is turning out to be at the moment. It's a Manchester derby. It's supposed to be the marquee game of the last 16 of the League Cup. It's had all the build-up. It's had every single bit of build-up going to Mankind, and at the moment the build-up has been more exciting than the actual match itself. It's been a disappointment. I've been personally disappointed at the moment with the way the game's gone. And at half-time here at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 0, Manchester City 0. We're going to take a 10-minute break, and after that break, the second half, and hopefully we'll get some goal mouth activity, maybe a few goals tonight, who knows. But as I leave you for 5 or 10 minutes, half time, it's United 0, City 0. Hello, welcome back. I've just had the highlight of my evening so far, a half-time cup of coffee, because that might be the stimulant we might need, because this could be a long night if the second half is going to be anything like the first. It's 0-0 at Old Trafford, but there's been some goals, I believe, at the West Ham game, as Mike Claret has been pointing out. So let's confirm what's been going on. It was 2-0, West Ham went 2-0 up through Chiati and Fernandes, but I believe that Diego Costa has just pulled one back for Chelsea, so maybe Mike Claret's little prediction of 3-2 Chelsea, well, it could be well on at the moment, but West Ham now with the advantage at the moment, so it could go anywhere. Southampton-Sunderland, that's also 56 minutes old, and that is 0-0. Manchester United and Manchester City, the game we're covering at the moment, it's been a disappointing goalless draw. Well, we're just waiting for the teams to come out now for the second half then. In what's been a disappointing match at the moment at Old Trafford. There's been a few players after the lead warming up outside at half time. I just hope for the two managers' sake they got their both sets of teams in and banged their heads together, because that first half from all 22 players, I've got to be honest with you, was unbelievably shocking. It was really, really shocking, and I have to say I've covered a few games domestically this season on this YouTube channel, and I don't think we've had a proper 0-0 draw yet, and we haven't had a dull game. So, and this has probably been the dullest first half I've covered this season. I think I was due one, to be quite honest, but let's hope these two teams now who are running out onto the field can come out and give us a second half to remember now, because, you know, that first half, it was like wading through treacle. It really was. And I just hope both Mourinho and Guardiola, for everybody's sake and 76,000 people inside Old Trafford's sake, have actually read them white riot acts and told them to start playing and play at a high tempo, because that first half was simply not good enough from either side. And this derby has turned into a mockery. It's not a proper derby at the moment. There's been no... You can't dodge all the 0-0s, John. No, I can't. I got 3 on the trot in the European Championship, so I thought at that time I was going to be like John Motson when he got all those 0-0s on Match of the Day a few years ago. Anyway, we're going to see a half-time substitution, I think. Kolarov is going to come on for Manchester City. It's a defensive change, unless he's going to go further forward. But it's a half-time change for Manchester City. I don't know, I think Guerrero's amongst the substitutes. I'll have to check, but so let's just check the subs bench. Just a second or two. We should have the lineups there, but at the moment we don't. We haven't got any lineups at the moment. We haven't been able to at the moment, so we are back with you now for the start of the second half, and Kolarov has come on. So away we go. We've got this second half. Surely we have to have a better second half. We can't stoop as low as we saw in the first half. It was a disappointing watch. So let's hope we get some good action in this second half. Manchester United in red, attacking the Stretford end to our left in this second half, and Manchester City going to the right hand end, where about 3,500 of their supporters are congregated. Obviously for cup ties they get a bigger allocation, the away support. And maybe United's second Stretford end could be a significant breakthrough. Remember, Manchester City are defending the League Cup. They won dramatically on penalties. Liverpool were unlucky to lose that final. They really gave City a good game and arguably should have won it in possibly in normal time or maybe extra time as well. Remember, these two Manchester clubs with 8 League Cup wins between them. City, of course, winning last season and before that 2014, 1976 and 1970. Manchester United's victories have been in 92, 2006, 2009 and 2010. So both teams have won 4 minutes. And apparently Costa is making a little bit of an impression as City try to come forward. Flag has gone up, I think, for offside though. Against, I think it might have been Nolito, Spanish international, and away we go once again. 0-0. But maybe the second half would be a lot better now as Pogba plays that out to the near side. Pogba to the far side, I should say, and Valencia tries to take it up against Clichy, but Clichy winning that particular battle. But Pogba wins the ball back, still on the Manchester United right hand side. Antonio Valencia, who picked up a yellow card in the first half. Iheanacho also picked up a yellow card in the first half. There's been a couple of yellow cards, but nothing else really to write home about in terms of goal mouth chances or chances created. It's been a dire game, but maybe the second half might provide something a little bit more different. We have to be optimists, folks. We really do, because it can't get any worse than what we saw in the first. Just to remind everyone who's joined us late, if it's a draw at the end of 90 minutes, we do have extra time. And if we can't find a winner in extra time, we will go to penalties. Basically what I'm saying to you is we will not end the broadcast until a winner is found tonight. And of course there'll be the small matter of the draw for the quarterfinals of this competition. Already guaranteed a place in the draw are Newcastle, Arsenal, Liverpool, Leeds United and Hull City. After all them teams won, Newcastle notably winning 6-0 against a 10-man Preston, and Leeds winning in a dramatic match at Ellen Road last night against Norwich City, who led twice in that game, Norwich, but let the lead slip, and that's Leeds' first foray into the quarterfinals since Howard Wilkinson, I think, was manager, 1996. So you can tell, and they waited a long time, Gary Monkside. And here's a chance here now for Ibrahimovic. A chance here, and a good shot, and it's well saved. It was Pogba, I think, going forward. It was Paul Pogba, hit it right-footed, and that was a very good save by Caballero. But Shaw has it for United, left-hand side, placed the ball in, Company with a header away. Now that was a lot better football from one of these two teams, and it was Manchester United who made the first bold move of the second half and almost got the reward. Paul Pogba put away a good shot, but Willy Caballero, I think it was a shot that you had expected him to save, but lovely play from Ibrahimovic. He's looked a lot better second half, and then the left-footed shot, it might have actually struck Caballero's hand, and it might have just been tipped onto the post. I'm just looking at a replay here. There's the shot left-footed, and indeed it was off the post. I think that's an even better save from Caballero. Terrific. We're getting a running commentary now from Matt Clarid on the other game taking place at the London Stadium. Hazard has now come on, so obviously Chelsea putting the big guns in this. Rashford goes down the left-hand side. Better for Manchester United, and still has it. I thought he'd lost it, but he's still got it. Here's Pogba, edge of the area. Pogba with a shot, he tries to curl it inside the far post, but he's curled it wide, but that was better. And Manchester United stepping up to the plate, going for the cutthroat of Manchester City, and this is what we wanted to see in the first half. Much better from these two great football adversaries. United 0, City 0, but United starting well in the opening 5 minutes of the second half. Mourinho, I think he's had an effect. You can tell he means business on that bench. I think he's had a few harsh words to say in that dressing room, because quite frankly it needed a few harsh words from both managers. I don't know if Pep Guardiola goes around screaming and shouting at his players, but and that's a foul. Herrera's absolutely distraught with himself. He's fouled Otamendi. There was certainly a coming together between the two players. I think he knew. He took a slight glance there to Otamendi. I think Otamendi actually made a bit of a meal of it, to be fair. You can understand Herrera's frustration here. As we just see an opportunity there just see an opportunity. That was the early opportunity. It's all happening at the game at the Olympic Stadium at the moment. Plenty of goals there, but none at the moment in the other two games, as I can tell. Southampton, Sunderland is goalless, and so is this one. It's 2-1 and now to West Ham. And they've had a really good start to the second half there, so just to keep you updated. But it's still 2-0 to West Ham. I got that wrong, so there hasn't been a Chelsea goal, I believe. It's still 2-0 to West Ham, and it's 0-0 between Southampton and Sunderland. So if I did say that Chelsea had pulled a goal back, sorry Chelsea fans, I apologise. Here's Rashford with Manchester United, the left-hand side. Back to Shaw. Shaw now infield to Herrera. Better from United. Little chip forward towards Mata. He'll get to the byline. Left-hand side. Pull back. Goalkeeper didn't do well. Rashford tries the shot. It was charged down. Herrera miskicks his shot. In fact, he sliced it with his right foot. But United now are starting to ask one or two questions here. It's United in the ascendancy at the moment. And here comes Pogba again. Good running. Low cross, and it's a poor one from Pogba. And really, that was not a ball you would expect from an 80 to 90 million pound player that he feels he should be. And here's at the other end. Here we go at the other end now. It's all happening and ball towards Iheanacho. He's onside, but there's nobody in sky blue inside the 6-yard area. And Shaw now, under no great deal of pressure, can just hoist it as far up the field as he possibly can. And the ball is still in play. It's not gone out. And it's now with Otamendi now for Manchester City to Company. Well, what a game this is turning out to be here. I wonder if Company's been replaced at half time. He has, I think. So it looks as if Kolarov has replaced him. I'm just checking now. At the moment it's 0-0 in this game. Yeah, just to confirm that it was Company who got... I think Company came off, so it's Kolarov playing centre back. Just to remind you of the substitutes, as we see Manchester United now breaking forward. And here's a chance here for Ibrahimovic inside the penalty area. We'll bring you the two suspensions in a moment. Herrera goes in. Oh, no penalty, but the goal has been scored. It's a goal for Manchester United. And it's one matter. Referee put a terrific advantage. And Manchester United, in the first 10 minutes of the second half, have really took the game to Manchester City and thoroughly deserved their lead. One matter pouncing. It looked as if Herrera had been fouled there, but the referee, Mike D, must have played an advantage. My stream didn't give me the... But let's have a look at it again. Zlatan Ibrahimovic breaks down the left-hand side, gets the ball into the penalty area. In comes Herrera, and then it comes to Mata, strikes it with his left foot. Caballero hasn't got a prayer. And one Mata, who I think should be starting a lot more games, in my opinion, for Manchester United, has really made the difference here. And you've got to say, on terms of the first 10 minutes of the second half, it's a lead that Manchester United deserve. And I think Mourinho's half-time talk has had the more desired effect. Guardiola now needs to respond. City have two substitutes left to use. United have still got all three up their sleeve. But at the moment, they're in the lead. And they're on the attack again with Valencia down the right-hand side. And he almost plays it in, and Kolarov has to come across. And I think City have been a bit more weaker at the back because of Company's injury. But United, to be fair, have been very rock steady in this second half thus far. Stream's having one or two problems. So just to clear up the substitutes at the moment, was there a foul there by Otamendi potentially there on Pogba? Well, the referee didn't give it. So City have got left now from Sterling, Gundogan, Aguero, Fernandinho, Albiado and Gunn. United have got Depay, Lingard, Young, Romero, Fellaini, Schneiderlin and Darmian. So plenty of good attacking players on the bench, and City maybe... I think this is the time now that Guardiola must respond now and maybe try to bring on a substitute. I think Aguero could come on very shortly. I wouldn't back against what Matt Claretsy's saying here at the moment, because here come Manchester United on the break once again, and United really wanted it more at the moment than City. City just don't seem interested right now. Guardiola is the man under pressure now, and I tell you what, it might be the League Cup, but I tell you what, if Manchester United were to hold on and win this game, and think of what it will do for Mourinho's confidence and, boost their morale. But it'll be worrying for Burnley, where we have to visit there on Saturday, and you'll be able to hear that game delayed or live. We haven't decided which one we're going to go down the road of yet. You'll be able to hear it one way or another, Saturday's game, on this YouTube channel. Whether it's live or delayed, we will bring it to you. We'll bring you the best of the action from that game. And of course there'll be a live commentary as well on Sunday lunchtime of the we're going to go into the Championship on Sunday lunchtime for our live offering. We're bringing you the second City derby, and they're always feisty affairs. Birmingham City against Aston Villa, and I always enjoy those sort of derbies when it's proper bragging rights, and I think this particular derby coming up will be no exception. Steve Bruce returning to his old stomping ground, of course, now as Aston Villa manager. He'll get a warm reception at St Andrews. Here's Navas now for Manchester City. Navas towards the byline. He was shortly tripped there by Luke Shaw, and in fact the referee hasn't given it to the dismay of Jesus Navas. There's a rueful smile on the Spaniard face. Let's have a look at it again. Well, isn't that a free kick? Shaw's took him out there. He's dangled a foot in, and that should have been a free kick there for Manchester City, but it's not been given. Ibrahimovic did really well there. Just went to the left of the penalty area, looked up, and he saw Herrera. It was a good dummy. Referee straight away signalled no foul because he knew Mata was coming in. And Otamendi there, well, he could have been off for an elbow. It's 1-0 to Manchester United, in case you haven't been with us, Jordan. You have missed a really good team goal for Manchester United, started by Zlatan Ibrahimovic. And Southampton have scored against Sunderland. Buffal with the goal after 66 minutes, which has put Southampton in with a shout of reaching the quarterfinals for the second successive season. Of course, they got to the quarterfinals of this competition last year, but they were unceremoniously dumped out by Liverpool very comprehensively. I think it was 5, maybe 6-0 if I remember. Here's Navas for City, needing to respond after going a goal down. Deservedly so, because United have wanted it more in the opening 15 minutes of the second half than City have. And I don't know how I'm going to throw this question to you guys. It's 6-0, so at least Jordan remembers it. It's there's a lot happening in football since then, so I apologise if I got the score slightly wrong. I knew it was 5 or 6-0. I knew it was a landslide victory. I didn't know it was that much. Well, they have Raheem Sterling. They also have Sergio Aguero. Now, I'm going to throw this to you, listeners. How long do you think Pep from this? We're at 15 minutes gone in the second half, and I think Raheem Sterling is going to come on. Now, how long does he leave it before Sergio Aguero comes into the fray? Let me know in the comments section. Let me know now. 1-0 to Manchester United. A lead thoroughly deserved. A goal for Juan Mata, tapping in from no more than 7 yards after some good work. First by Zlatan Ibrahimovic, crossing the ball in from the left, and then Herrera with a lovely dummy, which enabled Mata to get his opportunity, and he came in undetected to side-foot Manchester United ahead. Long ball forward towards Navas, keeps it in down the near side, but can't find Iheanacho. Now a chance here for United to break, but that's out into touch. He reckons 15 minutes at most. City need to respond. I think it's Raheem Sterling is about to come on for City, former Liverpool player, of course. Left Anfield, quit Anfield to join City for 53, I think, million pounds a year or two back. And Jordan reckons Aguero could be secretly discussing a deal with Real Madrid. I don't know about that. Matt Claret reckons it should be now, and Sterling is a good idea. Well, he's not done too badly this season for City. He scored some important goals in the early stages when they were winning games quite handsomely before they hit that bad spot. There's no Kevin De Bruyne, by the way, for City tonight. I believe Rooney's out for a thigh injury. I was checking the notes at half time. It was 49 million. Jordan, well done again for putting me in the picture. Again, it's been 18 months since that transfer deal. 49 million seemed a very long time ago now, and we've lost the footage of the game now, which is annoying for me, because it means now we've got to try and fix that and try and fill in as much as we can. But it's a goal that Manchester United have merited. A goal after 50 odd minutes from, well, we might get back to the game now. Manchester United, remember, winning in the Manchester derby, the League Cup derby, 1-0 against Manchester City, of course. This game has really come to the boil as we prepare to go back to the game now. Remember, we've played about 60 minutes. Calf injury for De Bruyne, and Bailey, of course, is out for 2 months. I mean, there's been a lot made of that Eric Bailey incident. It's a big blow for Manchester United, that I have to say. Certainly in the defensive nether regions, if you like. But at the moment, it's West Ham looking as if they're going through to the quarter-final draw, and also Southampton could well be joining them too in the quarter-finals, as well as Manchester United, of course, there as well. And we're now into the 64th minute of the game, and we are back. And Herrera's just gone down there, so we've got a better stream now. We've got a stream, and the referee now has got some decisions to make. Herrera's been dumped to the ground. It was Sterling on Pogba initially, and then Sterling decided to go in hard on Pogba, and I think that's got to be a yellow card for the former Liverpool man. That was a very tough challenge. So a free kick's been given. Pereira's up on his feet, and off we go again. In what's been a really well, it's not been a particularly good derby at the moment. Sorry, I was just off for a second. Again, I was blowing my nose, colds and sneezes. We're getting to that time of year now when we're heading towards winter very rapidly. But we are back with you now. 25 to go, just under. McClare thought it was a little bit of a meal that Herrera made of that challenge by Sterling, but Sterling he knew that the ball had gone. He had to make that challenge, and he knew what the deal was. Still 1-0 to United. Can City come up with something? We haven't seen Aguero yet. How long will it be? Here's Sterling, number 7. Can he inspire Manchester City to come back? Now Navas has it. Navas to the byline. What a good tackle there by Shaw. Got a good block in. It's a City corner. Can City come back with the equaliser? Navas, I have to say, has been City's best player. Herrera is not a nice person, says Jordan, but well, here we go again. Garcia with the corner, number 75 with the corner in towards the 6-yard area. Again, nobody attacking it in sky blue, which is a disappointment for me, I have to say. United have been the better team in the second half. I mean, even the most hardened fan, I mean, even you, Jordan, have got to concede United have been the better team in the second half. I'm not saying it to be flippant, but from what I've seen so far in this second half, United have shown more intent, they've wanted it more. I've got to say, that looked a little bit of a bad challenge there from Zlatan in the first place, but what a flick that was, almost getting it through. 22 minutes to go. United, in fact, yet to make a substitution. Remember, Southampton winning 1-0 against Sunderland. West Ham 2-up against Chelsea, because we could see a massive team go out of the cup. Jeff Ayres reckons it's football, not a tea party. Well, it's certainly, the first half was played like a tea party, but it's been better in the second half. Raheem Sterling has won a free kick for Manchester City. Now then, this is their moment now. Can they get back into this game? 1-1 would be just right. Kolarov is over the free kick. He's the captain. He's just to the right of centre, about 25 yards from goal. If the first half was an absolute feeble display of football, the second half has not been that. And the standard has got a little bit more better as it's gone on. Now, will it be the right foot of Kolarov? Or will it be somebody else? No, it's going to be left for Kolarov. Right foot, left foot over the wall, but out to the stand behind the goal. Not a good free kick. And a goal kick it is to Manchester United. And here we come, Sergio Aguero. They've waited 69, 70 minutes now. And here comes Sergio Aguero. Could he be Manchester City's saviour and save their defence of the League Cup? And he will replace Nolito, who I have to say has been null and void. He's been an absolute disappointment tonight. And he's getting the bird, and I'm not surprised. He hasn't done enough for me, Nolito, tonight, and I think that's... I have to be honest, it's not been a game that has been... And he hasn't enjoyed it. And United are about to make their first change of the evening. Morgan Schneiderlin is about to enter the fray. Sterling comes goes forward for City, finds Raheem Sterling. Sterling now running at Valencia. Sterling with his pace towards the byline. That's better for Manchester City. A goal, no, it's a corner. Sterling won the corner, and now Manchester City just starting all of a sudden. Now they've got Sergio Aguero on the field. I think you'll see a lot more from him. Let's see who that came off last. It certainly came off the defender. It came off Daley Blind. So it's a corner then to Manchester United. Here it goes, Manchester City rather, in towards the 6-yard box. There were a bit of pushing and shoving going on, but the referee wasn't having any of it. And Mike Dean, who's never been shy to give penalties for jostling in the penalty area. Matt Claret is obviously keeping tabs as well in the Chelsea game. He says they've been poor, very poor, making his prediction look silly too. But hey, listen, that's what we like about football. I mean, we were made to look silly last week in our predictions, but the reason why we made the predictions, Matt Claret, really on our video last week, was we based it on the form, the current form, and you know, we shouldn't be too downhearted about it. And I'm sure we'll probably get a few wrong this weekend when we do our collaboration on Friday evening. But that's football. That's football. Anyway, back to the game. 72 minutes gone, and one matter who could well decide this tie with one moment of pure genius. A terrific team goal from Manchester United, it's got to be said. The way he took that chance and fired it into the back of the net was a joy to behold. He's getting a good reception from the majority of the 76,000 fans, and Morgan Schneiderlin, the former Southampton man, will come on. Oh no, we'll never be too down about Burnley beating Everton. Well, what a day that was. But I doubt we'll go. I'm sure Jordan enjoyed that one. Well, he will have done, being a Liverpool supporter. I have a friend who was a taxi driver. He's a big Evertonian fan, and he drove me. I bumped into him today, and he actually he wasn't. he gave me a rueful look, not in a bad way, but just to say you got lucky there. But hey, Burnley have deserved their luck after what we've had to endure the last 2 or 3 games. We were due a bit of luck. Here's in a nutshell now for Manchester City. Back to tonight, and City now with all 3 subs on the field. Remember, they've got Sterling and they've got Aguero on. Can Aguero pull it back for Manchester City? At the moment, they can't. City already in the first Manchester derby won 2-1 early on in the season, but at the moment, this particular cup tie is going the way of Manchester United. Zlatan Ibrahimovic has gone down. He's holding his right shin here. Referee Mike Dean lightning quick across to assess what's going on with the injury. Because the second half has gone also quick, my coffee's gone cold as well. Free kick then to Manchester United. A second United goal was surely finished the game. We're absolutely sure, but a City goal could force extra time. Remember, we could be in for a late finish, but as things stand, I don't think we'll be having a late finish. And remember, the quarterfinal draw comes up after this commentary. At the moment, all 3 games look as if they're going to finish within the 90 minutes. Here comes Pogba, £89 million worth of talent. Back towards Herrera. Now Shaw has it, left hand side. Schneiderlin's pass over. On ball play forward up towards Pogba again. Flicks it on towards Schneiderlin. But a foul, high foot I think, by Morgan Schneiderlin, and a free kick. Although Otamendi, I have to say, a few times tonight, Nicholas Otamendi is making an absolute meal of it. You streaming the draw? Yes, we've got it on. It's coming up on the TV, so I'm gonna once the draw's been, we will do the draw live. As it's not visual, they can't do me. They can only do me if it's visual. So, but sound bites is not a problem. Do interviews and the like. We hope to hear from both managers at the end. Well, Sky Television are doing the draw and the actual games at the moment, so they're the only TV company that are showing this competition live and in full. But anyway, don't go with Sky. Stay with this YouTube channel for the commentary. Forget Martin Tyler and his cronies. You're live here on this channel, and here come Manchester United trying to break away to try and get this second goal, but City's still in with a shout. They haven't really played well in the 75 minutes that we've been playing here tonight. They have 15 minutes plus stoppage time. In fact, they've got 14 minutes plus stoppage time to try and save their League Cup defence. It's been a much better second half. It's been more like a derby, but United have wanted it more than City have. And I think that's reflected in the strength of the squads that both teams have put out. Sunderland looking completely out of it against Southampton. Well, it's going to be a tough all season with David Moyes, and I'm sorry to say this, he's a terrific manager, Moyes, but I'm afraid this Sunderland, I think Sunderland are another Aston Villa waiting to happen. I think they have flirted with relegation and turmoil for so many years now, just like Villa did for so long Newcastle did, and they just haven't got it right manager wise. and that is a shame. It's a good club, Sunderland, passionately supported, but as I said last week, it's a club that probably needs a relegation, and at the moment they're devoid of any real confidence. Beaten very narrowly by West Ham, but they just don't seem, or can't buy a win at the moment. I don't know if certain players want to play for the manager at the moment. It's a sad state of affairs up at the Stadium of Light. But it's not looking like a sad state of affairs at the moment for Jose Mourinho. His Manchester United side lead Pep Guardiola's Manchester City by 1-0 in the 4th round of the League Cup. Draw to come up after the game. Ball played in towards the penalty area. He'll come here on the far side. City still going for it. Here's Raheem Sterling. Tries to cut in field, but again, good tackle there. Manchester United really turning it on. And what a ball that is to get Rashford away. Zlatan Ibrahimovic. And look at Pogba making a stride in the middle. Ball in there towards Pogba. Well defended. And it will be a corner there. And that was terrific defending, because it looked as if Rashford had got away. Good cross. And Pogba just came in behind, but I have to say, terrific game it's been. Watford, of course, could be in trouble. Apparently there's been a lot of it made in the press. I'll come back to that in a second or two, because we've got a Manchester United corner which Ander Herrera will take from the far side. United attacking the Stretford end, remember, in the second half. Here comes the corner, right footed into towards the 6-yard box, but again nobody challenging. Then Schneiderlin challenges with the second ball. Bit of pinball machine going on in there. City scramble it clear, but only as far as short. Left hand side it is. Now Rashford has it left hand side, and he can't get past his marker, and that is in play. Couldn't see if it had gone out or not, and back to free kick has been given to Manchester City. Now back to the Watford United to be relegated now. I can't see that happening. Come on, Jordan. I know you're a Liverpool fan, but Manchester United, a big giant in English football like Liverpool, to be relegated, come on, it wouldn't be the same, would it? What happened with respect for each other's clubs, eh? Here comes Manchester City trying to get back into this game. They have not been at the races tonight. United thoroughly deserving at the moment, as things stand, a place in the quarterfinals of the League Cup. Remember, they won the FA Cup last year against Crystal Palace. Well, I think they're about the same in terms of support and trophies won, Jordan. You Liverpool fans and you United fans, you argue it. I'm gonna stay on the fence on that one. The little debate. No, we don't respect Blackburn Rovers, of course. West Ham apparently have gone 3-up for reports, Jordan. So 3-0 to West Ham. It looks like they're going through. We can't. No, I can't. No, I can't respect Rovers at the moment. In fact, there's only one way they're going at the moment, Mad Claret, and that's to the League One at the moment. They can't. Owen Coyle is doing a grand old job for the Venkies at the moment, and I'll tell you what, it will be a great season from a Burnley viewpoint if we were to stay up and Blackburn were to go down another league. 2 leagues, just think of it, Mad Claret. Think of it. So it looks as if we've had a few full times coming in. Let's have a look. I'm getting reports that Chelsea have been beaten 3-0 apparently by West Ham, and Manchester United look as if they're going through. So let's just check with what's going on. 1 full-time score already in. Southampton 1, Sunderland 0. The Southampton goal scorer, just to remind you, came from Boufal after 66 minutes. West Ham are 2-up and deep into stoppage time. Chiatti and Fernandez well, goal scorers. So Southampton and West Ham both in the hat for the quarterfinals. And at the moment, as things stand, Manchester United, biggest mistake for Blackburn was to sell Jordan Rhodes. Well, they sold a lot of players, didn't they? And I think Venky's have made an absolute bad mistake. So it's West Ham 2, Chelsea 0. It has properly been confirmed. One thing is for sure, West Ham and Southampton will be in that draw for the quarterfinals, and whatever comes up in the draw, there's some very big teams left in there. Newcastle going could be dark horses for the trophy. They're going terrifically well in the league under Benitez, and also doing very well in the League Cup. And even though they're a Championship outfit, Newcastle, I still think they are a Premier League outfit who play some terrific football. And they should not be in the Championship. They should be in the Premier League, where I believe they belong. But here come Manchester City to try and get themselves back into this game. They've got 8 minutes, less than 8 minutes plus stoppage time to try and find a way through this stubborn United defence. Sterling's cross deflected. It will fall here, and it will be hooked away. So 2-1. It finished apparently to West Ham. Gary Cahill scored a very late goal, which didn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. West Ham season starting to pick up. They've had 2 wins in 4 days at the London Stadium. And here comes Navas now. He's popping up on the right hand side now, but left hand side I should say, for Manchester City. Aguero plays it in. Navas again. Can City save it? Ball in towards the penalty area. Aguero and Iheanacho were lurking. Still City have it. United now camped inside their own penalty area. And now the ball goes to Sterling. They've swapped sides, Navas and Sterling. Sterling's out on the right, Navas on the left, but Sterling has lost it. And now United can break. Zlatan Ibrahimovic knocks it back. He's done really well to play in the 90 tonight, Zlatan. I've been very impressed with him in the second half. And of course Leeds have done really well. They had that dramatic victory, come back from behind twice, of course, at Ellen Road last night, and beat Norwich in a penalty kicks. At the moment as things stand, we're nowhere near penalty kicks, let alone extra time, because United are going through thanks to that goal from Juan Mata. Here's Ibrahimovic over on the far side, and here's Jesse Lingard. He's just come on as a substitute, I believe. And United now just keeping the ball, not trying to do anything stupid at the moment. One more forwards looking for Pogba, but he can't be found. Throw to Manchester City, and now he's trying to predict the goal. He's mad claret. Leeds versus Manchester United. Well, there was a famous, I'll just go back to this little story involving Donald Trump, one of the presidents of the United States, as City tried to go forward. In fact, there's a foul there. Sergio Aguero's obviously not happy with that, but there was a bit of wrestling. Free kick to Manchester United, 5 minutes to go, and so we should see that again. Aguero's bursting a gut there. He thinks he should have had the free kick, and then well, I think he might have a point there, but I don't know. Anyway, back to this little story from 1991-92, when Leeds United and Manchester United drew each other in the League Cup quarterfinals. It was called the Rumbelows Cup in those days. They drew it in America. It was on a programme. Many of the younger people who are listening in, I'm sure one or two of the people over 30 will remember a programme called Satan Gravesy. It was Ian St John and Jimmy Greaves. They used to do a bit like Football Focus and Soccer Saturday do now. You're not missing any of the action. Here's Pogba. We'll just break off for a second because there might be an attack going here for United. Schneiderlin tries to, oh, what a lovely flick over Raheem Sterling's head, and then he just keeps it in by the corner flag. 4 to go. In fact, offside's been given. And they were going over to America. They did a special programme in America to see how the Americans were going, preparing for the 1994 World Cup. And they had to do the draw for the League Cup quarterfinals, and they got Donald Trump to do the draw, who's now running for president in America. They got Donald Trump to do the draw, and he picked out the final draw of the quarterfinals was Leeds United against Manchester United. If you don't believe me, type it into YouTube, Donald Trump, Saint and Greasy, you'll understand why. There you go, little story there. You might have learned something there, kids. Meanwhile, back to this game. We've got about 3 and a bit minutes to go. And it's Manchester United's free kick. I'm sure they're not going to pull too many men forward. Zlatan Ibrahimovic is certainly forward for this free kick. 3 to go. 3 minutes that is. And it's about 15 yards inside the City half of the field. One forward towards Pogba, but he can't keep it in on the near side, and he's going to run for a goal kick. City haven't got time to lake about with this ball now. They've got to get it forward and as quickly as possible. And it's going to be Willy Cabinero to take. 2.5 minutes plus injury time to go, and then we'll get probably about 3, maybe 4 minutes from Lee Mason, our fourth official. Pogba's kept it in, or has he? No, he's not kept it in. So it is a throw to Manchester City, but it's United at the moment. It's going to be United's evening, and in the battle between Pep and Jose in Manchester, if it was to end this way, it would be 1-1. Of course, with possibly a decider to come at the Etihad, unless they draw each other in the FA Cup, lest we forget. We're only about a month or so away from the draw for the third round. The first round draw has already been made, and they start playing those games in early November, of course. So the FA Cup almost starting up again. Won't be long before the start of January and the third round of the Cup, and of course we'll be bringing you commentaries from the FA Cup, as well as commentaries in the latter stages of the League Cup games here on this YouTube channel. But here at the moment in this Manchester derby, it's 1-0 to Manchester United. A goal from Juan Mata, proving the difference here at the moment. City have got about less than 90 seconds plus time added on to get the equaliser. Ball chipped in there, and there was a player gone down. I think it was Mamatio came in there, and there was Shaw down on the ground as well. Ball was played in from the left hand side, middle chip in there. It was coming together, and in the end it fell very nicely for David De Gea. Well, if the first half was a diabolical spectacle, the second half has certainly lifted spirits, and the way United have attacked City, certainly in large periods of this second half, has made up for the complete utter disappointment of the first half, which was really forgettable. Not one shot on target in the first half. City fans a little bit disappointed, but it means if it stays this way, Guardiola's winless run will go to 6 games. But what that will do for Mourinho's confidence will be wonders. Here's Jesse Lingard, the other sub, on the far side. Just keeps it in. He's had a good little vein of form. He's recently gone into the England team under Gareth Southgate. I think there was much more worthier people that should have been in the England team but weren't. 4 other minutes at the end of this tie. City really need to find something in quick. What a good tackle that was from Paul Pogba. No holds barred, but he's given a free kick. And he's going to book Pogba. Well, I find that absolutely disgraceful. That looked an absolutely perfectly good tackle on Nicolas Otamendi, who yet again has absolutely made a complete meal of it and has conned the referee into giving Pogba a yellow card. I don't like that. Otamendi has been throwing himself around. Ibrahimovic has now got himself a yellow card for saying too much to the referee. This is what happened again. Now judge for yourself. Did Pogba get the ball fairly? He gets the ball fairly. Otamendi, look at him. That is just disgraceful acting. We don't want to see it in the game. Otamendi has play acted all night, and I've got to say I've got no sympathy for him. And I think that's a disgraceful decision, Mike Dean, to get drawn in to play acting. And Zlatan Ibrahimovic had every right to say what he felt about it, and I don't think he should have got booked either. Here's Pogba now, through the middle. Thinks Paul Pogba, he took it too much. No, goalkeeper came out and did very well, to be fair. Still 1-0 to United. Seconds remaining. We've got about 90. We've played 90 seconds of the 4 minutes. City still need to equalise. Still 1-0 in case you haven't been with us tonight. Remember, we'll try and get some reaction from Mourinho and Guardiola, seeing what they thought of the match, and then obviously there's the draw for the quarterfinals, of course, of this 2016-17 League Cup. We've played 2 of the 4 minutes. City have 2 minutes to save themselves and take this into an extra half an hour. And to make this commentator work very much over time. Ball played back into the penalty area, knocked away. I just don't honestly think that United are going to budge defensively, and Matt Claret shares my view with the Paul Pogba tackle. It wasn't as the ball got Hoyt in there. Still, City not giving it up by any means. Here's Aguero. Sterling now, will he get it in from the far side, near side I should say. It wasn't a brilliant cross. He hasn't really made much of a difference. There's a foul there on Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and Mafia will surely be penalised, and indeed he will be. But going back to that Pogba tackle, it was a terrific tackle. I've seen that was one of the great tackles, and for Nicolas Otamendi to throw himself around as if he'd been shot by Lee Harvey Oswald was a complete and utter disgrace. And I think Otamendi should be reported to the football authorities, because that is just, we don't need play acting in this game. Otamendi's play acting has been nothing short of a shambles tonight, and I'm not going to shy from criticising him. And Manchester City haven't done enough, in my opinion, to warrant being in this cup competition. And here's Schneiderlin, he's onside here, near side. He's doing the right thing, keeping it in the corners. Now Pogba has it tackled there by Otamendi. It will be a throw to United, and that'll suit them down to the ground. And I have to say, Otamendi has been an absolute disgrace for his football club tonight. And I think Pep Guardiola should actually pull him to one side and say, stop it. I mean, if you can't get a decent tackling these days, what's the point? Anyway, we're now into time added on for time added on. This is going to be the last chance for City. Long ball forward by Kolarov. Up towards Iheanacho, but it's headed away. Sure, United will see out the victory now. Here's Kolarov for City over on the far side. And there will be no more, because Manchester United have won the game, and deservedly so, by a 1-0. A terrific confidence booster there for Jose Mourinho, who gets the better of his old rival Pep Guardiola. A goal for Juan Mata inside the first 10 minutes of the second half. He got the winning goal, and it means the holders now bow out of the cup. A terrific second half, I have to say. After the first half, I have to be honest with you, was a complete and utter disgrace of a football match. But in the second half, it lived up to what it should have been in the first half. A really good blood and thunder game of football, plenty of activity, and at the end of the day, Manchester United have now deservedly gone through. Pep Guardiola, his winless run now stretches to 6 games, and there'll be worrying moments in that. In Scotland, of course, Rangers have actually drawn 1-1 at Ibrox against St Johnstone. Alston scored for St Johnstone after 5 minutes. Garner with the equaliser for Rangers. So that's finished 1-1. That has been a full programme in Scotland. In fact, Ross County 0, Celtic 4 tonight. So the champions keeping their grip going. Inverness have won at Motherwell 3-0. Hearts were beaten 2-0 against Kilmarnock, and Dundee 0, Partick Thistle 2. They were all the scores in Scotland. So Celtic's lead at the top of the Scottish Premiership is now a healthy 7 points. Aberdeen are second with 18. St Johnstone on the same points, but with a worse goal difference. Rangers lie in 5th place with 16 points. That is the roundup, in just a quick roundup in Scotland. In the other 2 games tonight, Southampton through 1-0 against Sunderland, and West Ham through 2-1 against Chelsea. And we'll stay with you to bring you the reaction from both managers. And apparently there's been a bit of crowd trouble again at West Ham. We're just having a look at what happened there. We've got the news feed as well. There was 45,000, but apparently there's been some crowd problems there. I'm sure there'll be more to follow as the evening wears on. So some good football coming up as well. Premier League. and that's well, if the first half of this cup tie tonight was a damp script, the second half was a thriller minute, I have to say. And the goal that came after 54 minutes from Juan Mata was a goal, a really good, genius, it was a well-worked team goal. Conceded terrific by a long pass towards Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He laid the ball back. Lovely dummy by Herrera in the first place, and then Juan Mata side-footing it with his left foot sends United into the draw, and we're waiting now for the draw. So, and here's a chance for you lot to get involved at the moment whilst we've got this little break. What do you think of what happened tonight, and who do you think will draw who in the last 8 of the League Cup? Matt Claret has come in again. Pep Guardiola, as he mentions, has gone 6 games, as I said, to be able to win. It's actually for the first time in his managerial career, so a bit of a slump. He needs to pick his team up, that's for sure, because it's not been good enough from Manchester City's point of view. Let's have a look at some of the match stats, shall we, from this game tonight. Possession, City just about shaded it. They had Manchester United had 48% of the possession. City had slightly more of it. In terms of shots and attempts at goal, Manchester United, I should say, had 8 attempts. Man City had 5, and there was only just 2 shots on target. City did not register a shot at goal in the entire 90 minutes, and 2 on target for United. 1 really did count, but they played some good stuff in the second half. 7 corners in the game, 4 to United, 3 to City, and there was quite a lot of fouls in actual fact. 17 fouls to Manchester United and 14 for Manchester City. So a grand total of about 33 fouls in the game. A little bit of news to watch out for. The draw, the numbers are about to watch out for. Here are the draw. The draw will be made not by me. The draw will be made on the TV. You'll hear the TV boys on this one. Here are the numbers. Arsenal are ball 1, Hull are ball 2, Leeds United are 3, Liverpool 4, Newcastle are 5, Manchester United are 6. There should be 8 teams in that. Just trying to think now. Southampton and West Ham will be 7th and 8, I would have thought. In what order, I don't know, but I certainly do know that the first 6 are out of the bags. At the verdict bag are going to be Arsenal number 1, Hull number 2, Leeds 3, Liverpool 4, Newcastle 5. 7th is 5 is Newcastle and 6 is Manchester United. Southampton are ball number 7 and West Ham ball number 8. So there we are. They're the actual numbers to watch out for in the draw, which is coming up in a few minutes' time. As soon as we hear any reaction from the managers, we will let you know. But I'm really looking. But moving on a couple of days, me and my Claret will be back again recording our new football talk show. Please, if you haven't subscribed to Mad Claret, I'm doing a little promo for him. He needs subscribers and he needs views, and this is a really good collaboration. If you missed the first episode, well, we don't just do predictions, we talk about football in a general context. We review the last week's Champions League games and how the English teams fared in that particular competition. Give it a watch, honestly. It's a really good programme, and you get to see both of our faces as well, which is quite good. And I always give good value for money anyway when I talk about football. So honestly, subscribe to Mad Claret if you haven't already. Please subscribe, and you won't be disappointed with our football talk show, because it's a new venture. You know. Myself and Mad Claret have put a whole lot of hard work into it. He does a lot of editing as well. God bless him. He was up until the crack of dawn the other day doing it, and to be fair, he did a very, very good job in editing the show, and it looked a very good thing, and it is a good laugh, and it's a good laugh, and you know, we try and do it with a smile on our faces. We do it, and we do it. at the end of the day, we're there to entertain people, and that is what it's all about. If we make a mockery of the predictions and we get it badly wrong, so be it. It's all good bit of fun. Give it a try, folks. You will not be disappointed, and you'll be laughing out of your sides. Honestly, it's a really good show. It's very informal, very relaxed, and good opinions as well of the game. I'm sure we'll be hearing a few of these ties as well. You'll be also be able to hear, if you want to see some of the action from the other games over the last 2 nights, Channel 5 have some highlights around about 10:30. So if you want to watch the highlights, Channel 5 is the place to watch that later on. And Stretford End is, Old Trafford is very much empty now. There's 1 or 2 supporters now going out of the ground at the moment. There was only 4 offsides in the entire match, by the way, 2 each. In fact, there was 16 fouls to 15, so there was 31 fouls in total in the game. And in fact, we're going to hear from 2 of the United heroes, Juan Mata and Herrera. They're speaking with Sky Sports right now.
Against Manchester City, they play very good football, and I think we gave 100% and we won today.
And there was a much improvement in the second half. What was said at the break?
You know, in the first half it's always tough, this kind of games. Everyone doesn't want to lose. No one wants to lose. A lot of tension in the game, so in the second half I think we were very calm, more calm on the ball. Juan scored the goal, and then I think we improved a lot, so we are very happy with the win. But overall, for our fans, the last derby we lost, they were disappointed with our performance, and now I think they can be proud.
Juan, what's it like to score the winning goal in the Manchester derby?
Well, a great feeling. Every time you score an important goal, it's obviously a great feeling, but the most important thing is that we fought together today. I think we left everything in the pitch, and that's what we had to do to beat this team.
Was there a lot of soul-searching after the performance at the weekend?
Well, obviously it was a bad game for us against Chelsea. We had 3 days until this game, and we knew that we had to be strong in our minds to face this game in the best condition, and I think we have done that, and we showed today that we are still competent.
Finally, Ander, what does this win give you?
A lot of confidence, first of all, and then we all know Premier League is the most important thing. Now we have to face 2 difficult teams. They are fighting for the relegation right now, Burnley and Swansea, so they are going to give everything, but if we want to fight for Premier League, we have to win both games. All our competitors are losing points, so now I think it's our chance to be close to the top.
Well done tonight.
Thank you.
Well, there you go. Burnley to come here at Old Trafford on Saturday. Kevin is, come on. Good evening to you, Kevin. Thank you for the commentary, he says, and don't forget about the Clarets Crystal Palace game next week. Don't worry about that. Stick around because we've got the draw coming, and Kevin, have a look at Mad Claret's YouTube channel and please subscribe because we're doing a football preview with predictions. Honestly, we did our maiden show last week and it's a good watch, so subscribe to Mad Claret 94 channel. You won't be disappointed. It's a good laugh, enjoy it, and you get to see my mugshot as well, Kevin, so have a look at it and see what you think, and we'll be obviously back again with another edition on Saturday. We film it the night before, you see. Mad Claret has been back on and he said apparently seats and bottles have been thrown. There's been more skirmishes at the moment at West Ham, I'm sad to report. He also says that the police and the stewards have certainly got more than their hands full at the moment. Well, there we are. Sad news to bring you from West Ham, which is marked a terrific night for them. 2 wins at that stadium in about inside a week or so, and really sad to see, really. And let's hope let's hope the police and the stewards can sort all that sorry mess out tonight. Well, Manchester United, terrific performance. I thought they deserved it more over the 90 minutes than what City did. I was disappointed with City. I thought it might have been a much better game than what we saw. The first half, let's forget what we saw there. Completely, utterly dreadful. Neither side wanted to play football, and it was disgraceful. The second half, however, Manchester United pulled their fingers out and played positively, and that's what we wanted to see. I thought Zlatan had a terrific second half. Pogba looked a threat. He was unlucky to be booked after Nicolas Otamendi completely conned the referee into giving a yellow card against him. We're waiting on the draw. The other results, of course, Southampton through comfortably in the end, 1-0 against Sunderland, who I believe didn't look like scoring. West Ham 2, Chelsea 1, but the game has been marred by some very ugly scenes, I believe, down there. And it's a shame that we have to talk about some violence, fan violence. We don't need it. They're two great clubs, of course, West Ham and Chelsea, and it's just a shame. And if you want to see any of the matches, as I said, in this country, in the UK, I know there's a few people like Kevin who live abroad in New Zealand and all that sort of stuff. But if you want to see highlights in the UK tonight, it will be on Channel 5. I think it's around about 10:30, 20 to 11 tonight. So stick around for those highlights on Channel 5. And we're just waiting on the draw, but one matter, concur with what I was saying during the commentary on tonight's game, that United wanted it more. There was a bit of soul searching done tonight, and in fairness, United I think they wanted it more, and I think that was the important thing, and it was important really to see United really come out and do terrifically well. So just to remind you, coming up, it's at 10:30, so you've got about 20 minutes. You've got about 20 minutes to watch that if you want to see that. It's on Channel 5 in the UK. Anyway, Pep Guardiola is speaking with Sky Sports now.
For the young players, for the other players, how we played. We had our chance. We had 2 or 3 chances to the counter-attack. We finished the last pass, but I'm so proud.
What was the key to the game, do you think?
To United's win. And that level, when you arrive to be more clinical and the last pass, and to try to do that, but it's always difficult against United. We know that, but we compete good.
When you've made 9 changes, is it always going to be difficult for them to gel quickly in such a big game?
No, they did it good. They did it good. They did it good. It's not just part of the team. So Pablo Maffeo was amazing fighting with Rashford, with Pogba, and he won almost all the duels. So I'm so proud. Alexia played really good, and the other guys as well, the people in experience. So we're happy.
It's a game, though, without a win. The run continues. Are you concerned about that at all?
I want to try to win, yeah. But, okay, that's competition. Next season we're going to try again, and I'm focused on the next 3 competitions.
You took Vincent Kompany off at half-time. Can you tell us why that was?
He told me he could not play anymore. That's why.
Thanks for your time.
A pleasure.
Well, reading to that, if you will, he could not play anymore. So it might be an injury. It could be something more sinister than that. I don't know. But I can't agree with what Pep Guardiola said. He reckons they won half the duels. I disagree. The United won all the battles and they won the game ultimately. I can't agree with what Pep Guardiola says. United were far and away the better team and deserved their win. Kevin's been back on since the Guardiola interview. He said, what's the other Claret's place? It's Mad Claret 94 is we both combined to do this programme. He takes great pride in looking at it. Mike Claret 94 is his name. Have a look at it. There's a link on one of my other video, my commentary video, in fact, of the Burnley game on Saturday. You'll be able to get it through there. Subscribe to it. He does FIFA content like I do, FIFA 17 content. He also does vlogs and that sort of thing. And apparently in the Mike Claret has been back in. Apparently David Moyes was sent to the stand in that game at Southampton. But as I say, you can see what actually happened in that game and the other games played over the last couple of days on Channel 5 in 20 minutes time. We're just waiting to hear whether we'll hear from Jose Mourinho. We've heard from Pep Guardiola tonight. We're just waiting to hear maybe from Jose Mourinho, and maybe potentially we'll get the draw as well for the next round of the competition, the quarter-final stage. And one must confess, I thought it might have been a much better spectacle. The first half just didn't come to life for some reason. But I think it was more down to Manchester City making so many changes. Why make 9 changes? It was mindless. It was a competition that was won by them last season. And to be fair, they made an absolute... I can't agree with what Pep Guardiola said. That he won all the battles, that his team won all the battles. If you win all the battles, you win the game. They didn't win the battles and lost the game. And... therein lies the difference. And I'm not going to, as much as I enjoy listening to Pep Guardiola, he's got great views on the game. I think he talks a good game, but at the moment he's not at the moment on par with anything else that's gone at the moment, and I'm sorry to say it's looking that way. Anyway, let's hear from what Jose Mourinho's got to say now. He's talking with Sky Sports right now.
The players, they did everything. They deserve to win. And obviously we are happy, especially because in the last weekend everything went against us, and obviously us. But we are professionals. But the fans obviously felt deeply such a negative result, and today was a good chance to clean a little bit that feeling, because. It's always a derby, and it's a knockout, and to win against Man City, I think gives everyone a better feeling, and I'm especially happy for the players and especially happy for the fans.
Yeah, you apologised to the fans in the programme beforehand. Did you pick a stronger team tonight than you intended to because of what happened at the weekend?
Yeah. We were in a good run of results, or at least not a bad run of results. I think in the last 7 we lost 1, but was a big defeat. Numbers that the history of this club doesn't deserve. And obviously, when I am in a club, my heart belongs to the fans. And I felt especially deeply for them. But the reality is that I never had people like these ones. We lost 4-0, and they were supported. Today the stadium was full, and not full of people, full of real support. And it looks like the love that people has for the club is bigger than bad results, is bigger than three bad seasons. So we must give something back, and today, independent of the result, we could lose, and I would have the same feelings for my players. My players, they gave absolutely everything, and in a very difficult run with matches every 2 days, big matches, Liverpool, Fenerbahce, Chelsea, City, and they gave absolutely everything. So I think they deserve. But even if today we lose, the feeling was fantastic, because the players, they show that they really care. They really care. They care with the fans, and they fought for them.
So United through then to...
So there was what Mourinho said. Matt Cloud has been on. He said it sounds like he's just lost. Cheer up, mate, you've just beaten his local rivals. I think he is very happy inside, but there we go. So we're just waiting to start the quarter-final draw. In fact, we can now go to the quarter-final draw and join Sky Sports' Julian Warren.
The away teams. The balls are already in the pot. Would you give them a stir, Francis, just to make sure everything's in order before we go? Francis enjoyed Southampton's win this evening. Away you go then, Alan. First team, please.
Number 4.
Number 4 is Liverpool. 8 times winners. Being the finalists last season, of course. And Liverpool will be home against...
Number 3.
Number 3 is Leeds United of the Championship. They needed penalties to overcome Norwich last night. So that is the first tie-up, Liverpool against Leeds. Away you go, Al.
Number 6.
And that is Manchester United, who overcame Manchester City in tonight's game, of course, by that 1-0. And they will be playing...
Number 8.
And that is West Ham United. So Manchester United against West Ham. West Ham have never won this tournament, twice in the final. They beat Chelsea tonight.
So we're going to get your team a home one, Franny. 2.
Number 2 is Hull City, struggling in the Premier League, but knocked out Bristol City last night. And Hull are home against...
Number 5.
Number 5 is Newcastle United, Championship leaders, and thrashed Preston last night. So one more tie to come out. Alan's doing...
I'm trying my best. Okie dokie. Number 1.
Number 1 is Arsenal, and just one team left to pull out, Francis, and I think we know who this is.
Yeah, it's going to be number 7.
It's number 7, so that concludes it. Is Arsenal, and they are home against Southampton. Thank you very much indeed to Alan and to Francis. So that concludes the draw, and those times will be played in the week commencing November the 28th.
There we are, that's the draw. For the draw, let's have a recap of what's going on there. Liverpool at Anfield against Leeds. That'll be a tough game. That'll be a terrific game. That one. Manchester United and West Ham, 2 winners tonight. They play each other at Old Trafford. Hull, I've got Newcastle. I think Newcastle fancy their chances there. Hull don't seem to be doing very much at the moment at the KCOM Stadium in the league. And Southampton's reward for beating Sunderland tonight is an away trip to Arsenal. And just to repeat, the games will be played week commencing November the 28th. So a month from now. So it'll be November the 28th and 29th. So there we go. And that brings us to the end of our broadcast tonight. Thank you very much for listening in to full match commentary. The first half of this Manchester Derby Cup tie was, let's be fair, forgettable. But in the second half, Manchester United were just brilliant. Absolutely outfought, outplayed, and outdid Manchester City in every department. Despite what Pep Guardiola said afterwards, I thought it was a terrific game. I thought it was a terrific victory, I say, for Manchester United. Don't forget, myself and Mad Claret will be back later in the week for our new show, our football chat show. Please give it a whirl on Mad Claret's. It'll be on Mad Claret's 94 channel, and if you haven't subscribed to him, please do. He's a very good YouTuber, and he does some really good content as well. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel either, please leave a like and subscribe too. But for me, JB John Stuttard, I hope very much you've enjoyed our commentary for the last 2 and a bit hours. Highlights on Channel 5 in 10 minutes time if you want to watch the highlights of the last 2 nights. But for me, JB, until the weekend when I speak football again with Mad Claret 94, it's good night.